Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Off Track Small Talk. Tonight, I'm going to be talking to a driver who's going to make his full-time debut in Briscoe Formula One for 2023. That individual is Nathan Harrison. Evening, Nathan.
Good evening, Jonathan.
You're right. When we spoke and arranged this, you said, I'm not going to be at home. I'm away with work, college, or whatever it was. So where are you in the world?
So I'm down in Swindon. Not my usual place. Used to up north. But yeah, down in Swindon for training with work. So
many moons ago, when I was much younger, I used to go to Swindon quite often, and the magic roundabout things there, isn't it?
Oh yes, that is a strange.
It's very strange.
Very strange. Yeah, definitely.
Right. So we mentioned, I mentioned, sorry, just a minute ago, that you're coming into full-time Formula One this year, but you have previously raced mini stocks. So kind of what was your mini stocks career?
Yeah, so I raced minis from 2010 to 2015. I had a lot of, ups and downs in minis, probably more crashing than silverware, but no, I had a good time, and yeah, that's pretty much what started my love for oval racing.
So what happened in the gap then? So 2015 you said you finished minutes. So what have you done in the gap in between?
So from 2015, I just did the odd meeting. I've raced a V8 a couple of times, raced an F2, mainly on gala night, because my birthday is around that time.
Yeah.
So that was always like a birthday present from my dad for me to race at gala night. So yeah, I've raced a V8 a couple of times, and an F2 a couple of times as well.
But this isn't your first venture into Formula One, because I remember you raced Bradford towards the back end of last season in FWJ hire car, didn't you?
I did indeed, yes. Yeah, that was great fun. Racing Formula One on shale for the first time was definitely an eye opener.
Yeah.
But it's a good experience, and that is racing at Odsall, my home track, the track where my dad fell in love with oval racing.
Okay.
42 years ago, and I suppose for him to see his son racing around Odsall in a Formula One is pretty good.
Yeah, dream come true, isn't it? I mean, that meeting sticks in my mind because I did talk to your dad because I was with the guy. This is when Top Gear was in its very infancy, and there was a guy there, and I was kind of talking to him about stock cars, and they came to talk to you, didn't they, on the night, because they were like quite intrigued that how young you were, and it's like your debut in a Formula One and stuff.
Yeah. So at the Odsall meeting, I did get interviewed by Top Gear. They came over to me. They were interested about if I'd raced before, and they were asking me loads of questions. And then they said, "Oh, do you mind if we interview you?" Sadly that didn't get aired in the Formula One with the Freddie Flintoff, but never mind.
Were you a bit upset by that? A little bit.
Yeah.
Were you sat there when it came out on that Sunday night and you're like, right, this is it?
I remember sitting there and I thought, I'm gonna have to watch it in case I'm on it. And then got to the end of the episode and I thought, oh well, that was just anticlimactic. But no, the episode was good. It was still really enjoyable, obviously, and good publicity for the sport.
Did you tell anybody you might be on Top Gear, so you had loads of your mates watching it just in case? Did you do that, or did you just keep it to yourself?
I had to keep it a secret. The man from Top Gear who interviewed me, he said to me, you need to make sure that you don't tell anybody. Obviously your family who are here today, they can know, but nobody else can really know. So that was that.
Good. So you mentioned your dad's first experience of watching Formula Ones was at Bradford. That's where he fell in love with the sport. So can you remember when you first saw Formula Ones?
Yeah, the first time that I watched Formula Ones was roughly 2005. I I was away with my dad for a weekend at Skegness, and we were walking around the town centre, and when we were going through the town centre, there was 2 stock cars parked up in the centre. And if I remember rightly, it was Paul Hines' car and Carlos Perez's car.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad saying to me, he said, "Oh, but I grew up watching these," and and he said, "Oh, but we'll go watch them tonight." So went and watched them, and then that was about 2005, and then all the way through until I think it was 2008. Me and my dad went most weekends to watch,
Yeah.
and after that, it was 2008. I said to my dad, I want to race. I want a Mini. I want to race a Mini. So late 2009, he went and bought me one. So, and
Yeah.
that's that.
Brilliant. So like, so that when you're doing the minis and then after the minis, have you kind of still maintained that going to watch Formula One stock cars? Have you still maintained that kind of?
Yeah.
I'm a fan of stock cars.
Definitely. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're at. It's still good fun. Whether you're in the pits, whether you're just watching, or I still did my best to go every weekend. Didn't matter where it was, I would still do my best to go.
So who's your favourite driver?
Tough question. Racing, obviously, watching racing from 2005 to now, I've had a lot of favourite drivers over the years. So it would be a hard choice, but if I had to choose one, I would probably say Frankie Wayman.
Yeah. But it must be then a real surreal experience then. You went out in a Formula One at Bradford, Frank is out on track, so you've got, it must feel very weird as well, because, I always think that you've got these, superstars in the sport, and, you're out on track with them. It must be very surreal.
Yeah, like, I grew up watching Frank, and, being out on the track in a Formula One, racing against him is like a dream come true, and I get to pursue that dream this year as well. So
yeah, good. So let's talk about 2023 and the upcoming season. You now have your own Formula One car. Have you had much to do to it since you've acquired it?
So since we got the car, we haven't had a lot to do. Well, we've had a lot to do to it, but the majority of the work was done by Frankie. The car was sent to Frank for full revamp. It's had new bumpers, new panels, and it's had a new engine in it as well from Matt Newsom.
Yeah.
So it's been a a lot to do to it. Since it came back from Frank's, we've had little stuff to do to it as well. A couple of issues, brakes and stuff like that. So, but we've got over the majority of that now. So we're just about ready.
Good. And when you were at Frank's and you hired the car from his, what did you say to him? You used to be my favourite driver in stock cars. Did you ever have that conversation?
Of course, yeah. It's a weird conversation to have with someone that, like, you were my favourite driver when I was growing up, and now I'm going to be racing with you. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Good. Right. So you talked a little bit about the car. So we're at that point when in our off-track interviews where we kind of go, right, Nathan, it's over to you to reveal your car for the 2023 season. So tell a bit about it, and we'll do the reveal.
So the car was purchased by 2 brothers, Mark and Steve, who I would like to say a massive thank you to, because they've given me this opportunity. They purchased the car about 18 months ago, and as I said before, it's been for a full revamp, new bumpers, new panels. And this season, I'm looking forward to what it has to offer.
Excellent. So, Nathan, now time to reveal your car for 2023.
Yeah. So, obviously, again, a massive thank you to Mark and Steve for this opportunity, and all my sponsors, SWC Power Hire, Bradford Waste Traders, Dino's Motors, Wow Graphics, Paul Greenwood Photography, and NL and M Hardy Agricultural Services.
Nathan, the car looks absolutely fantastic. I have to say, I don't recognise the car.
Yeah, so the car is the previous Joe Nichols car. Like I say, it was bought from him about 18 months ago.
Yeah.
From the Skegness Speed Weekend, and yeah, it's been for a full revamp, and yeah, it does look like a different car.
It does. Who came up with the colour scheme?
So I came up with the colour scheme. Obviously, I went to Wow Graphics with the design that I wanted, and they turned it into exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, happy with it. You're clearly very happy with it.
Oh yes, definitely very happy with it.
Brilliant.
Don't want to scratch it now.
No, but that's what happens with stock cars. Unfortunately, that's what happens, especially around Bradford.
Yeah. Definitely around Bradford. Yeah.
So, what are your plans for this year? So, you had a go last year in Frank's car, Frank's high cars. That was absolutely brilliant. And so, what plans are you making for this year? And when will you, I guess, make your debut in the car?
So, my debut for this car will be obviously Kings Lynn, and then followed by Odsall. And obviously, we are doing tarmac as well. So, we'll be doing Skegness on Good Friday. My plans for this season, mainly experience, get to grips with the car, and get more confident. And if we get some silverware along the way, then that's always a bonus.
Yeah. Do you think is it a tough ask? When you come into Formula One, it's very different, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? From anything else that's out there, V8s, Formula 2s. Is it a lot about just learning how to drive the car and to drive it quickly? Because it's not, you can't just put your foot down and go, can you? There's lots to do with it.
Yeah. So obviously, we're racing on shale. 1 minute you could be out there racing on dry shale. Next thing you know, tractors out there, water in the track, and then it's different again.
Yeah.
But then after a certain amount of laps, it's back to how it was again. It's dry.
Yeah.
So yeah, adapting to a car is hard because track surfaces are always changing, especially on shale. Tarmac, you can usually find what you need with a car. You can find the best ways to tweak it, but with shale, sometimes it can be always changing. So
yeah. Good. So we've got Kings Lynn in a couple of weeks, and Bradford, and then Good Friday, Skegness. And have you kind of looked at the calendar and gone, this is the amount of meetings we want to do, or is it very much get those 3 out of the way and then see where you get to?
Very much, yeah. Get those 3 out of the way, and we'll see what we want to do from there. We want to do pretty much as many meetings as we can, but and we'll give that a good go for definite.
Good.
As many as we can.
I always think it's great to see new people coming into Formula One. So it's brilliant that you've come in this year. Thank you for taking time out of your evening in Swindon to talk to me. And you can go and, I don't know, look at the Magic Roundabout or something. I don't know what you do in Swindon at that time.
I don't know what to do in Swindon either, so I just sit in my hotel room, really.
Brilliant. Nathan, thank you very much. And I shall see you at Kings Lynn in a couple of weeks.
Thank you very much to you too, and you will.
Lovely.